Hey everybody, woohoo! Hex has hit 1 cent. It is back. And of course, we're going to get into that. Hex. And we've got the good old Hex girl behind me. She's having a good time. And yeah, pretty exciting stuff. So we've been waiting for it. It's here. Some of you would have made a 3x if you picked the bottom, and I know some of you did. So that's pretty exciting. So exciting times for everybody. Don't forget to get in the chat, make it lively, folks. We're streaming to over 10,500 subscribers. Big thank you to all your support through the years, and of course don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell and hit the like button on the way in. That's all we can say for that. So looking good at the moment. So let's get in the chat there. We got Lies Beneath. How are you today? Very good. We got Hex Pulsechain incentive for the win, 100%, doing very well today. And a long way to go, but man, what a start with Hex hitting 1 cent. Pretty cool. Wookie's in the house there. Wookie's in the midst of time. They're very spaced out, that one. We got Blue Collar DJ in the house. What's up, all? Good to see you in the chat there. And welcome. Hope you subscribe. Hit the bell as well. We got Brendan in the house there. Pumptober is upon us. Yeah, only a few days away from Pumptober. But hey, look, we're going to see a chart that shows you that September, which is normally Rec September, is up as well. Up September. So pretty fun. Joey Torres in the house there. Hey, Joey, always a pleasure. Hi, all. Good to see you as well. We got Anita as well in the house. Howdy. Good to see you. I like your little diamond stone there. Wonder how the developer for that's going, but that looks pretty good. Your black diamond stone. Kind of cool. Tintops in the house there. What's up, Mexicans? Well, the price is up. It's up at 1 cent. Got to be pretty happy about that. So that's pretty good. All right, let's get into it. We've got a big show today. We obviously be going to covering the stock market, the economic news, then crypto and full coverage of crypto. And then we're going to be getting into meme coins, of course, as part of crypto. We're going to go to Pulsechain. We're going to cover Hex, of course, which is the main headline story there. And we're also going to get into Pulse Mafia as well and B&B Mafia because they've got the second part of step 1. So the exchange is stage 6. It's going to be in multiple steps. And, of course, we've got step 2 there has been launched with the OTC or over-the-counter trade. So we're going to check that out later on too. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a great show. And then, of course, we're going to have cover the TitanX ecosystem for our last section, which is always fun to watch as well. So it's going to be pretty cool. Tintop says, that's what I like to hear. I like it too. Hex up at 1 cent. All right, so let's get in it without further ado, as we say. Without further ado. Have I got like I don't know, some sort of American accent? This feels like it sometimes. Let's go. Bam. All right, so the S&P 500 clinches record closing high on Micron-led rally. We'll take that. Pretty cool. Let's have a look at the indexes. We've got Dow Jones up 0.6%. Pretty big, right? 260 points, 42,175. Remember, Dow Jones had a lot of cyclicals in it with the industrial firms in the United States, top 30. S&P 500 is up 0.4%, 23 points to 5,747. And the Nasdaq, they're up 0.6%, 105 points to 18,187. Record highs on these charts, man. It is crazy stuff going on in the stock market. And, of course, the dollar is at the moment 100.34. We saw it 2 days ago, I think it was, down below 100. So there we go. This is the results, of course, for Thursday in the United States. Let's go to the commodities. West Texas at $67 a barrel. Brent oil at $71 a barrel. So pretty weakness on the barrel. So hopefully you guys are seeing that at the pump. Let me know if you're seeing lower prices at the pump. I know that one of my brothers was telling me that the oil price was lower. He was really amazed. And definitely that's not too bad on the price there. We look over the last year. Let's have a look on that. We can see, yeah, it's pretty low prices over last year. So that's kind of cool. Gold at the moment is down $1.20 at $2,693. And silver there is down 15 cents at $32 on silver. So that's where the commodities are. Let's quickly check the economic news to stay informed, right? That's what we like to stay informed. On the economic front, investors share signs that the economy is in good shape, or good share, it says good share there, as durable good orders unexpectedly rose in August, while jobless claims fell more than expected. So jobless claims fell more than expected. So economy is still doing better. So we're getting more of a softer landing than a medium hard landing. Of course, we don't really want that, but I'm still question mark over that in the new year. The final reading of GDP data was unrevised at 3%, again on an annualized basis in the final Q2 report, as expected, and marked the largest gain in 2 quarters. Now we've already seen the U.S. administration already fake out some numbers before and have major revisions particularly around jobs. I wonder whether, if let's assume Trump wins the election, that they come out with some whammies in the new year. That would be pretty predictably what they would do. The Duo positive data came ahead of the PCE data. And of course, we're getting that tomorrow. That's a big deal. That PCE data is a big deal tomorrow for Friday. So the Fed's preferred inflation gauge is likely to factor in central banks' plans for rates there. Chair Jerome Powell didn't deliver any notable comments on the monetary policy on Thursday, although Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said the labour market suggests that the economy is on a path to soft landing. So that's the view that they've got at the moment, a soft landing. But question mark in the new year. Let's see where that goes. So that is kind of the play there. PCE data out tomorrow, big deal. Hopefully it's going to be positive, and in other words, either equal to or lower than expectations, and rallies us into the weekend. Right, that'd be pretty nice. All right, so that is the stock market news and economic news. Crypto, we're going to do a full coverage of crypto. Bitcoin is up 3%. Yeah, $65,164. Bitcoin dominance still strong at 55%. And Ethereum, they're up 1.85%, $2,632. Not too bad. Some of the standouts, of course, is ADA has managed to go up 5.57% at 40 cents. A nice little move there. Finally getting a bit of a strong move on ADA. As Solana is also up pretty well, 4.7% at $155. So doing good there. XRP up 1.2%. Tron up 2.3%. BNB up 1.6% there. Those are kind of our leaders at the moment, and the market's kind of cool. We also got Bitcoin BCH down there as well. I never talk about BCH because it's all stuck down all the way down here. So I never talk about BCH, but or was a BSV. Anyway, so we'll move on. Let's go into the charts and look at Bitcoin. We are lucky, guys. We are lucky. We're in September or wrecked September, but it's turned out to be very, very green. We're going to look at that in a minute. But we avoided a death cross. Look at this. We got so close to a death cross. We avoided it. And up we go. And of course, this red line is September, right? So wrecked September, and it hasn't been that wrecked, is it? We had a couple of little pullback there in the middle of September, but it's been up and away. And so if we zoom out on the daily here on Bitcoin, it's actually doing pretty well. And we actually bounced off the interest rate pivot too, which is pretty cool at that 50 basis points. Would we have done as well on a 25 basis points? Probably not. That 50 basis points has been very, very well received. And of course, the federal funds rate has now gone from 5.5% down to 5% there. So very, very exciting for that. And of course, that leading us into, October, right? October is next. So that's cool. And then a US election on the 5th. Obviously, we want Trump to win there. If you want freedom and you want a crypto to pump, a pro-crypto president, then that's the outcome we need. If we don't get that, we're going to get the absolute opposite. We're going to get communism, authoritarianism, global elites running the show, and putting innocent people in prison. That's the sort of thing you're going to get. And of course, destroying your kids. That's pretty much it. So if you vote for the Democrats, that's what you're going to get. If you vote for Trump, you get this the last president to give freedom. And of course, that will set the tone for the rest of the century. And no kidding, they're going to set the tone for the rest of the century. It is a pivotal moment in human history, I would say. So then we got interest rates coming in again after the 7th. So hopefully we'll get a 25 basis point, maybe a 50 basis point cut there. We're expecting 1.25% cuts by the end of the year. We've had 50 basis points so far. So that is looking pretty good. I think we're looking pretty good. And of course, what's the target? You guys know, probably 90 to 100K by the end of the year. And then into next year, hopefully we can head towards that 150, 180K, maybe even 240. We shall see in this bull market cycle. So question marks there. But we have got the Bitcoin ETFs, the Ethereum ETFs. We may see them buying up big in the new year. So that's something that could be really positive moving ahead. So let's see where we go. Looking at the returns, normally we have wrecked September, and you can see on the returns here for Bitcoin, normally it's red, right? Normally we have a negative September. Look at all those years. Out of all the years of history, right back to 2013, we generally have a red month. We've had a couple of ones here. So we've had 2023, it was red. Now, so far, we are up 10% in September. Woohoo! So not wrecked September, but is up September today. So that's kind of cool following last year. And we are in a Bitcoin halving year, right? So that's kind of cool. And then, of course, maybe we will get something similar, if not bigger, than we had last year, because we've got the Ethereum, Bitcoin ETFs and things like that around, that we will get this big super rally into the end of the year. Interest rate cuts, President Trump wins, for example, in early November, that'd be bullish. and we get a green run into Christmas, and many of you become silly rich. How about that? How about that? It's pretty good. That is the forecast there. And of course, that is the monthly returns. Not bad, eh? Not bad. So let's go to the Bitcoin halving chart now, and you can see the Bitcoin halving. Here we are with the green line. That's the halving. So everyone has 2020 here, and of course we had this sort of flat period. Look at that flat period, and then we rallied. Right? See the green? The green's kind of the flat period there, and look what we got now. The sort of flat period, and then rally. We're going to get these rallies, these hyper rallies. See those hyper rallies? That's what we're looking forward to. Yeah, bring it on. Look at this. Woo, this is a little bit different back here in 2013. But, man, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, so fingers crossed we're about to enter this bit here. This bit. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Feel the FOMO. Feel the go. That's pretty cool. That's post-Bitcoin halving now. So everything is looking pretty well set up for it. All right, so here is Ethereum at the moment. Now, Ethereum is a different story, of course. We had the death cross back here on the 12th of August, and that has played out. But we have managed to, curve around here and flatten out. And we're getting a bit of closing here. So the yellow line is the 50-day moving average. We want that to cross the blue line there. At the moment, we've got a bit of a gap. So the gap's about $375. So we're going to cross that over. We are moving into up October. And so hopefully we will, by this time here, maybe in a week's time, we'll get pretty close to getting that golden cross again. Say goodbye to death cross, say hello to gold cross, and rally into October, into the Christmas. Kind of cool. And then hopefully we'll get altcoin season, right, where the Bitcoin dominance falls away, and we get the old bullish cross there, and get altcoin really running hardcore. And a big tell of that, of course, is going to be what? Meme coins. Meme coins. So let's have a look at meme coins at the moment. Dogecoin is up 12.5% for the week at 17.3 billion. A big re-rate, right? We were way down. Remember at 12 billion? We're now at 17.3 now. Up 12.5% for the week. It's 8.6% for the day. Let's look at SHIB there, up big time, 11 billion, 32%. That's a massive re-rate, right? 23% for the day. So most of that's today. So things are really looking really good there. Pepe up 19% at the moment for the week, 12% for the day. So everything is up, 24% for Dog with Hat. You can see all the numbers are pretty big all across the board there. We are up. Now, Dogs on Ton Chain for the old Telegrams, that's down 13%. Sitting at 445 billion, no move there. Or Baby Dogecoin, down 5% as well for the week. But several others there. Of course, the new one there, Nero, moved in 14% up for the week, but down today. So a little bit of softening there. But then we're going to get to Dog. Dog on Runes, the number one meme coin on Bitcoin. And of course, that is up 49% for the week, 25%. So we called the bottom on this, and it has bounced real nice, up 25% today. And the market cap back up over 300 million. It is now 375 million. And of course, we're expecting great things for this. No tier ones exchanges yet. Kraken are probably going to be first. That's going to be probably super bullish. A lot of room to run on this. So still super duper cheap. So previously it went to 1 cent, back down at 37 under the penny. So Dogs on Runes. There is your tip for the day on the old meme coins. Now let's have a look at the total market cap on the chain here. So let's have a look here. So we had 2.28 trillion as the total market cap of crypto, up 2.9%. So a really strong day. Trading volume 86 million, at up 32%. So there we go. That is where we are at the moment. And on the fear and greed index, we're right in the neutral zone. We've got a lot of upside coming. A lot of upside. It's going to be absolutely epic. So kind of cool. Now just zooming in on Dog a little bit before we leave. You can see in terms of sats, Dog is now 5.79 sats here on Magic Eden. And you can see that it previously got all the way up to 13 sats. It has no tier one exchange yet. And of course, the chance of it going really big is huge, right? So we might get another one of these replays here, possibly as well, where we get even bigger rise, right? So we could get a hyper rise, and could go from, could go up to 30 sats or something insane. So especially if it gets that cracking, could be a couple of weeks away. We'll see how that goes. Brennan says Dogs on Runes. Yeah, Dogs on Runes, looking pretty good. Now, remember, Runes Protocol launched on Bitcoin at the halving this year, and so therefore, Bitcoin for the first time has got its own ecosystem on top of it. In fact, it's got several now, BRC20s, RC20s. Also, there's another one as well, just forget the name of it. But it's Runes is kind of the superior one. And it's going to be fun. Now, obviously, it's on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's is sluggish and slow. If you're not trading on a centralized exchange like Gate.io for Dog, it's going to be pretty sluggish. Got to wait for the blockchain. Could take up to 40 minutes sometimes. Kind of crazy. So yeah, just remember Bitcoin's old school. It is a store of value, but it's old school tech. And you'll get frustrated if you've been on EVM chains and other stuff, even faster stuff, right, that's coming out. So yeah, it's just what it is. It is what it is, as we say. It is what it is. All right, we've got a few other people in the chat here before we get into Pulsechain. So let's get into the chat there. That's the end of our crypto coverage. So we've got Excavator in house. Hey, again, good to see you, Excavator. We've got a big high from Anita. What else we got there? Crypto Fury in house. Hey, big shout out to you. Yeah, we're going to talk about Mafia today. So good to see you, Crypto Fury. Hi, hello, everybody. Crypto Wally as well. Finally, it's October soon. It's soon back to 50 cents and then $1 for Hex there. Yeah, bring it on. Bring it on. PDC, yeah, one of the best projects, if not one of the top three, right? I don't know. Is it like that? It probably is some in that zone. Been absolutely incredible, PDC. Absolutely amazing on that. And yeah, dogs on runes, as Brendan says. Pretty awesome. All right, let's get into Pulsechain, get into Hex. Day 503 as well. Results. So let's do that. Bam. All right. So we got Hex. Quadruple 0461 is the price. Up 7% on Pulsechain. Pretty good. Still 46% of the mean sacrifice price. Still a long way to go back to there. Pulsex at the moment is at quadruple 025 and is at basically 25% of the mean sacrifice price. So a lot of room to go to get back up to that. 8.5% increase today though. The buy and burn though is getting very close to $1 trillion. We're at 999 billion, 690 million. So there, 999690. So 999 billion. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. We're not quite at $1 trillion. It rounds at $1 trillion, but we're not quite there yet. 4.96% of public supply. We will probably be there either later today or tomorrow, is my guess, with the volumes up as they are. Incentive token at the moment is $2.30, up 8.9%. The ratio is 49,908 pulse. So 7% of that is the pulse price with a little bit of lift in the ratio. And of course, the supply has not been updated yet. We're still sitting on. Oh, okay, this has been updated. 43,337,000 ink in existence. And of course, they're from the Pulse XV1 farms, right? Looking at Hex, the star performer, which has been for quite a few days now, is up a 24%. Woohoo! Bring it on. It is now over 1 cent on Hex on Pulse, 1.06 cents. Brilliant. Well done. Hats off to Richard. And of course, I got Richard on the thumbnail today. We've got EHEX there at 2,500th of a penny. The combined price of EHEX and PX, I'm proud to say, is at 1.3 cents. So really, really good there. 1.3 cents. It's on the ascendancy. Now we're going to look at the RSI and how where it's at the moment. Has got a little bit more room to move before it needs a consolidation. We're going to look at that. So stay tuned for that coming up. That's day 503. So let's go straight to the results. Pulsechain. This is on the 4-hourly. So we've got a little bit of room to move on Pulsechain. We're only at 60, so we can move further up on the old Pulsechain. You can see that we've got some room to move there. Let's go to the daily. Daily on Pulsechain is sitting at 67. So we've got room to move there as well. So we definitely can, maybe do a double top here. We're currently at 4,600. Could probably move to 4,800 on Pulse. Pretty good there. Maybe we'll get to 5,000 even. Maybe we'll get to 5,000. We'll be 50% the way back to the mean sacrifice price. So let's have a look what we've got coming up though. We've got Richard Hart's court case on the 31st of October. So that's coming up. That's going to be pretty interesting. We're going to continue to rally through to October into that. Seems like it at this stage, doesn't it? Does seem like it. So there we are, 35 days away from that at the moment. All right, so there we go. On Pulsex at the moment on the daily, we're sitting at 63 on the RSI, so definitely room to move. And on the 4-hour, the traders views 4-hour, we're way down at 55. So Pulsex could make quite a bit of move, guys. That's definitely a good chance of that. And with the volumes up now, Pulsex benefits directly. So Pulsex, I think, looking really good for a pickup on the charts, and nice little bounce here too off the 13-day. See that? Nice. So a lot of upside for Pulsex. Definitely a good pickup there. And of course, the buy and burn's about to hit some key milestones there at 1 trillion burn. All right, so that is looking pretty good for Pulsex. We've also got a pretty bullish cross here going on. Bullish cross still holding up very well. A lot of upside there for Pulsex. Incentive token at the moment. Let's have a look at the ratio. The Pulse is kind of what we've been looking at here. And let's have a look. Let's zoom this in. There we go, right in the middle almost. Not quite, just below the middle of the range. And what a beautiful range this has been for the Pulsex farms, man. What a dream. Well done to Richard Hart and his team for that. That's pretty good. All right, just under 50,000 Pulse per one incentive token. How about that? Crazy numbers. All right, let's go into Hex, the story of the day, the week, the month. I don't know, it's pretty amazing. But we've been rallying pretty big here on the old Hex. And look at this. It is since the 10th, since the 9th, actually, of September, we were down at 3600th of a penny. Let's just take a moment to take this in. 3600th of a penny. And now we are up all the way up there to 196%. So a 3x of there in 17 days. So congratulations for those that picked the bottom. I know some of you did. So congratulations to you. Mad gains all around. Cups of tea and cups of beer. I don't know. But anyway, the RSI is hot. So this taking, it's been hot for a while. So it is hot at 80 and it keeps pressing up, being hot there. So that is kind of it on the 4 hourly. What do we got? We've got some room for move. We're at 70, so it can move higher. It can definitely move higher here. Get up to 80. It's been up to 80 here, so definitely a chance to move higher. What are we going to go to? 1.2, 1.3 cents before it sort of cools down and has a bit of consolidation. Definitely looking like it can still move up here from here. A little bit more room to move on the old Hex there for this move, for this particular move. So there we go. That is it on the daily. Let's have a look at the weekly on Hex on Pulsechain. That is the chart there. Woohoo! 3 weeks, man. Looking at into the third week, looking very, very good. Now, here's a big deal. So we got this moving average, right? This 13 moving average here. So if that we see that bullish cross there on that purple line is the 34, that's going to potentially even more hyper moves. Back to the old parabolic days for Hex, right? What's it, 13 parabolics? Parabolics. It's kind of a weird, but that is where we're at the moment on this. All right, we're going to move on. So Hex, shining star on the hill. Will it get its future glory back? Remember, one of the top 4 or 5 coins from the last bull market. This cycle is a lot more complicated. There's a lot more stuff around. It's infinitely more coins, infinitely more projects. So, but Hex, is it going to shine bright? We're going to head to that 10 cents now. We're over 1 cent. We're going to head to 10 cents. We're going to head to 50 cents, and of course break that and move to the dollar and have some record moves. It's early days in this bull market, though. This is a very good start. We obviously got the Richard Hart court case coming up, but doesn't mean the Hex chart can't do some magic. And there we are, and we're expecting some magic up right at some stage. Kind of cool. EHEX at the moment is at 2400th of a penny. Not too bad there. And of course, a lot of upside potentially. The RSI is at 67, so more room to move there. On the 4 hourly, we're also at 59, so lots more room for EHEX to move there. Could be some nice little mad gains breaking out from EHEX, because you guys know we don't really have much of a wall in the road until we get to what's this? Go here. Until we get to where's the wall gone? The fudge. My overlays. There we are. I don't know what's wrong with my chart here. Auto log. Let's go auto log. There we go. The BankX wall is greatly reduced. Apparently, it's only 175 mil. I haven't checked to see whether that's changed, but that definitely been reduced from what, 700 or whatever it was, 700 mil. So that's at 70 tenths of a penny. So a lot of upside for that to be had for the BankX wall. Presumably, if that's my information is still up to date, that is to a 3x from here on the old EHEX. So there we go. That's the way. Now let's have a look at Hex derivatives. Now on the back of Hex rallying, the 10-year DESI, the 10-year mining pool there from Alex, from Dipcatcher and Golkey is up 21%. Maximus, the 15.2-year mining pool, is up 20% as well. So the long-term Hex has all gone re-rated pretty strongly. And of course, that is going to be Maximus, going to be the super whale out in the 2030s, right, along with the Hex gold whale. But I suspect the Hex gold whale is not going to do much with the Hex, honestly. I think really the Maximus is going to shine bright. And even though it's been front run by the Hex gold whale, I don't think there's going to be a problem out there. I think that's going to be pretty good. Lucky at the moment is up 19%. That is the 7-year one. And of course, Trio there is the 3-year one, up 18%. So Hex mining pools are doing fantastic. Really, really good. Moving to the 1 year is the base one. That's up 11.3% at the moment. And it's sitting at 1.266 cents. So pretty cool on that one with the old base. Got to hear the base. All right. So it's doing pretty well. Hydron also up 11% on Hydron at the moment. Of course, the airdrops there for people that are mining with T-shares. Let's go to stablecoins. We've seen a lot of action in the stablecoins too. We saw USD Tether and USD Tether in particular leading the way, up 15%, still there. But PDI managing to stay up there at 3,700th of a penny. So let's have a look at USD Tether, which is a bit of an enigma, but it has had a beautiful rally here on good old USD Tether on Pulsechain. Look at that. These are speculative stables, right? It's up 320%, a 4.2x inside 23 days. So even better than Hex at the moment. So some pretty mad gains there. Congratulations if you're holding some of those speculative stables. Pretty good move there. And of course, PDI sitting at 3,700 for a penny. Will it get to 1 cent? That's the question after its drama that had the other day. Will it get? There's a drama back here on the 23rd. Will it hit the 1 penny? And you guys know we've got the 1 penny here. Let's go full screen on this thing. Get rid of the RSI. RSI is pretty chill, so it's got plenty of room to move on the RSI, but that's 1 penny. How much gain will that be to get 1 penny? Well, you guys know it would be about 170%, so 2.7x. There's lots of money to be had on Pulsechain right now. It is looking bullish. So that's kind of it. Let's go to the influencer coins. We've got SolidX up 13.4% at $16.76. Now, you guys know that this is the tip of the day. I've been telling it for many days, but DragonX founder Eric is going to be building a crash game on this. I think it's going to be multi-chain. It's going to benefit SolidX coming out towards the end of the year. Could be the number 2 GameFi. Why do I say number 2? Because I suspect that Mafia will be number 1 as it is at the moment. But hey, look, always welcome to other GameFis to come onto Pulsechain. The bigger GameFi protocols, the better Pulsechain does overall, and more opportunity for you guys. So that's pretty cool. SolidX at $16.76. Remember, this got up to about $263 10 days in after it launched. So it's only $16.76. Who knows what it could do leading into that? And of course, it's got the big Randy Alaski's big whale friend. Was it Fire Whale? I think it is. That is doing that. So it's going to be fun to see that play out. As I mentioned, Nope Token from Randy Alaski, that's up 7% today, sitting at 1400 for a penny. So it's pretty good there too. And of course, we've got Paul Pleb Access Live just above that. Let's go into the Mafia coins quickly before, actually, we're going to talk about Mafia in a minute. Let me just take that out separately. Let's go into the overall results on Pulsechain before we get into Mafia. Obviously, we've got TitanX coming up next on the Ethereum chain. Stay tuned for that. $21 million in volume. So we've got our volume. It's doing very, very well. We're over 20 million again today. Really liking this. And of course, the total transactions, 330,000. We've got the best performers. Helgo at the moment is up at 25%. Hex, of course, we talked about that. Peaker is up at 21%. Mafia is up at 21%. We're going to be talking about that in a minute. Pulsepot also from Jacob. So these are both Jacob ecosystem projects. Pulsepot up 19.5% is to $1.73. That's had a fantastic run. We're going to talk about that a little bit. UFO is up 16.70% related to the PDGC project, so doing well. SolidX is also up. We talked about that briefly, and that's looking like a good pickup one there as well. Launch Token, I don't know why Launch is up because they haven't launched anything, have they? But they're up 13.3%, so question mark over that one. DWB up 12%, so lots of little movers there leading the way on the old Pulsechain. So pretty good results. All right, so we're going to get into just wrap it up on the Pulsechain update. But we've got the gas prices at the moment, 148,000 beats, super cheap. Ethereum is 16 Gwei, so we're 6,100 times cheaper than Ethereum. This is fantastic, guys. Honestly, Pulsechain is rocking. It's rocking. It is kind of cool. Get in now. We've still got time. You're still early. It's really cool. Keep an eye on the RSIs for your entries and your exits. But, apart from that, it's looking very good. 48,711 active validators at the moment. Doing pretty well. The bridge at the moment, 107.5 million. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Well, I think we were at 103.8 yesterday. So what does that make us? That's 103, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 3.8 million or something like that up today on yesterday. So that's a fantastic news, guys. That is awesome. Things are really turning around for Pulsechain. And of course, we're getting the more money over the bridge, more volume on PulseX. The buy and burns are getting increased. Everything's going well. The prices are rocketing. Hex is leading the way. It really is really cool there as well. Now, that's kind of where we are. Obviously, we've got about 36 days to go until the court case. That's going to be interesting. We'll probably get a bit of volatility, but I suggest that we're probably going to keep rallying into that through October. And of course, we get Trump winning the election. That's going to be an insurance policy, particularly for Pulsechain as well, that court case. So we're going to have potentially insurance there with the change of leadership in the SEC and dump some of these super silly lawfare against crypto, give us good regulations and move forward probably by February, something like that, maybe March for that insurance policy, potentially if it pays out that way. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. Let's go into Mafia. Mafia, they're doing really well. And of course, super cheap here on BNB still. So let's have a quick look at that. And I want to look at Pulsepot first. So these are all Jacob ecosystem projects. And of course, Jacob is pretty much probably the number one GameFi peer-to-peer dev in the world, DeFi dev in the world, I would say, and doing some awesome stuff. So we're enjoying that. So this is where Pulsepot is at the moment. And let's have a look at the chart moves that we've had over this is the daily chart. We've been up 140%. So that's a 2.4x on the old Pulse pot, doing pretty well there. And of course, that's a peer-to-peer gambling site, the only one, the innovative in the world. So big shout out to Jacob for that. Now, obviously, we've got Mafia coming up. This is going to be Web3, absolutely genius Web3 game, absolutely huge, and we're looking forward to it. We've got a big stage 6. It's rolling out right as at the moment, started yesterday. It's going to happen over a couple of days, and we can see that Mafia on Pulsechain has finally started to move off the bottom. So still super cheap to get into, but it is starting to rally. As I pointed out, you guys would have picked this all up. And some of you didn't go and buy any. It's up to you, obviously. It's not financial advice, but you just missed out on that nice gain there, 38%. And I think this is really going to rocket still super early. People don't understand. This is a metaverse, the first metaverse coming to Pulsechain. That means that people are going to need Mafia to stake in those lots. All those properties need Mafia to stake for development. That means the Mafia is going to be scarce. Once again, do your due diligence, but I can only say things so many times, and it's already started to move, but it's got a long way to go. So there we go. There is taxes on it. There's a 4.7% buy tax, a 16.6% sell tax. So you're going to need 5% buy slippage, 20% sell slippage. But of course, if you get 20% plus gains, you're going to be well in the money on that. Even if you're speculating, if you're going to participate in the game, then obviously you're going to be using that for building up your asset wealth and income in the game. So there we go. We have got step 1 is over the counter and conversion. We had conversion opening up. We've had OTC just launched last night. And of course, that's what we're going to look at now. So the exchange office is fully operational, a bit like the Death Star. No, I'm just kidding. It's operational. And so people can get their in-game assets and they can trade it in for cash. But the exchange officer is going to tell you what he thinks you're going to get. At the moment, you can get a bit of a volume bonus. So people are trading in their cars, which are very valuable. People thought they weren't that valuable in the marketplace, but they turned out to be valuable in the conversion exchange. And of course, last night we had the new feature open up, the OTC trade, over the counter trade. I mean, this Jacob was really leading the way here. So now people can trade one item and request another item, and you can basically complete the trade. So you can see a couple of examples here already. There have been a couple of trades already go. Obviously, I think there's been 2 million in fees here from looks of it in-game currency. So kind of cool. That is the play on that one. So that is just launched, big deal. And that's leading up, of course, into the other steps, deposits and withdrawals, which is going to be step number 2, right? Step number 2, deposit and withdrawals. And also we're going to have bullets and hearts start trading. At the moment, only Mafia is trading, as you can see here now. And we're about to lose a 0 on Pulsechain. So it's going to be 0.001, 1/10 of a penny very shortly. But we're going to have hearts and bullets trading on Deck Screener as well as within the game itself. So those are the 2 next coming. So we're going to have deposit withdrawals. Basically, the real world economy is going to be linking into the Mafia game with deposits and withdrawals. That's step 2. So that's be coming up probably the next day or 2. That's exciting. And then keys are coming as well. Obviously, people are going to need keys to for the map. All right, you're going to need keys to go and get some of the land. Remember, there are 1,500 land spots in each city. There are 11 cities. So it's going to be a big deal there. There are 1,100 regular spots there that will have different value, whether you're in a middle class area, upper class, what city you're in, all sorts of stuff. So it's going to be super cool industrialization coming into this huge metaverse Mafia game. So it's a play to earn, but it's also a asset creation game, which could make you money on both sides of the ledger there. So pretty cool. Or one in the profit and loss, one on the balance sheet. How about that? Would look like that. All right, for you accountants out there. All right, so that is kind of the play there on Mafia. So still looking pretty good. And BNB Mafia is still cheap. BNB Mafia hasn't really moved. There's a little jump a couple of days ago. BNB Mafia has not even moved in price yet. You can pick up millions of Mafia over there. Remember, there's only 1 billion tokens, and a lot of them are staked. A lot of them are staked, and a lot of them in the team's wallet, and a lot of them in LPs. So there's actually not that much Mafia running around. So the opportunity to pick up Mafia at the moment and hold millions of them for the game launch is pretty cool. And remember, we're only step 6 out of 12 steps for when the game launches. So it's a pretty big deal there. All right, so Pulse Mafia map is coming soon. The first metaverse to Pulsechain. It's going to be absolutely huge. Looking for it. It's going to be 3D. Is this really our first 3D game on Pulsechain? I think it is. And we're going to be able to zoom in to the street level in this map. So there's going to be 11 cities, 3 continents. And of course, within that, there's going to be 1,500 tiles, areas or property areas inside each city. And of course, you're going to be able to a 3D map. You're going to be able to view into the street level. It's going to be absolutely fun. And a lot of people love development in these games. So if you like GameFi, this is the perfect game for you. It's going to pretty much be a world leader in crypto and Web3 DeFi. It is going to be absolutely outstanding. So nice to be early there. If you got gamer friends, tell them about it. It's going to be so good. Maybe all sorts of people can play it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so that is the old BNB Mafia map there. Let's jump into Hex daily stats. Just to wrap it up on the Pulsechain update. We haven't got today's upgrade for Ethereum yet. So no, we haven't got the data today. Probably coming out in the next half an hour or so. So we're going to have to skip that and get straight into our TitanX commentary there. See who else has jumped in here. We've got Kristen in the house. Hey, Kristen, good to see you. Hello, everybody. Checking in from sunny Arizona. A big shout out to you in Arizona there. Great state. What else there? We got Wookie and Housey. Woo woo. The real big sexies here. Hey, everybody. Good to see you as well. Your face is volatility and PDI is great. More PDC rewards. Absolutely. Good point there, UFOologist. We've got MV in the house as well. Morning, family. Hey, MV. Keep up the good work there on X. MV is growing his channels on X, becoming a real big influence over there and doing a great job. So big shout out there. Wookie is also a big deal. You are in your own galaxy. Not in this galaxy, but in another galaxy far, far away. He is a big deal there. All right, Spike's in the house there. Yeah, boy. Hey, Spike, good to see you as well. Good timing. Let's get into it. Let's pull in the TitanX update. Here we go. And of course, tell your friends if you've got friends that like TitanX. I do daily updates now. It's part of the standard format of the show. So tell all your TitanX gurus to come and watch. Yeah, boy. All right, let's get into it. Let's go for gold. I'm going to change the background now from Hex and Pulsechain. We're going to change into something more comfortable. Let's slip into something just a little bit more comfortable for the old old TitanX there. We had DragonX yesterday, so let's pick up something else. Let's go to Flux, shall we? Go to Flux background. There we go. And we might have to change the colors, right? Because that's green, right? Green, green, green. Let's go full on green here. Bam. Look at that. We just changed the show up. We just changed the show up just like that. Where do we go? Put this... should we put some Titan Legends in there? Look at that. There we go. Bam. Look at all these little tools you can do. Look at bam there. We're going to put the Titan Legends. Bam. There we go. Let's change it out. All right, enough silliness. Let's get into it. Let's see what has been rocking. We have had a consolidation in the old TitanX ecosystem, which is pretty interesting. We got the top performer at the moment is Janus, which is funny enough, not on Ethereum, but on Pulsechain. Now, if you like PDC, you should check out Janus. It is from the Helios founder, the dude. So definitely if the LPs prices will go up, that's going to do extremely well, right? So check out Janus if you like that sort of project. Hydra at the moment is up 9.8%. Really big change happened here today. The buy and burn went up quite a lot, in fact. So definitely want to check that out. I posted this in Strategy Club, some insights around this. So if you want to join Strategy Club, links in the video description. Pretty modest fee to join. It's a private club, of course. $35 a month, so pretty modest, but the constant intel updates there and opinions on certain projects and stuff like that. So definitely check that out. Links in the video description for the Strategy Club, and maybe Wookie will post his link in the chat there as well. But join up today. Become part of our community, contribute as well. And we love people that contribute ideas and insights as well in there in the Strategy Club. So join up to that. Helios at the moment is up 1.9%, and of course Legend X is up 1.4%. And Baby Dragon X is pretty much just up slightly. Those are the four, the big leaders today. Inferno, though, is just down slightly. The TitanX is down 0.4%. Now, they had big rallies last night, but got sold off a little bit. So there were actually up. And Dragon X there is down 0.6%. So those two leaders there, TitanX and Dragon X, still holding up pretty well. Blaze down 5.8%. Hyper down 8%. JKX down 8.3%. Now, JKX is the main coin. And Flux there is down 11.6%. Now, Flux benefits, of course, Inferno, right? So up above there, Hyper benefits TitanX, and of course, DragonX benefits TitanX in many ways as well, as does Hydra. So those are the kind of what we call the core four: Hydra, TitanX, DragonX, and Hyper. And of course, the top of the next level would probably be Inferno in the next level. And some people are pretty excited about Helios as well. And of course, you can see that may be a good opportunity to get into big on Helios. Now, before we get into any projects, I wanted to go to Titan Hub. So Titan Hub here is by Mike Dean. It's kind of like number one analyst guy. Now, it looks like he's going to be moving into into development, like doing his own project. So stay tuned for that. Apparently, he's got some intel coming on his Telegram. So if you want to get access to any of these projects, I'll post the link in the chat there. But you can do that. Let's see there. Wookie says, did Super just transition? Yeah, I just did. We got there's the strategy club. If you want to join up with Wookie's link, you can go for gold on that. This is TitanX Hub with all the projects coming up. And of course, we've got the Vault coming up, which I got in the title of the video today. So that is the play. But you can see really good site, gives you great information. There is a premium service, and this is very important. If you wanted to do ladders, if you want to do mining ladders, then it's good to have that sort of access to that. So kind of cool. You can also get into our strategy club. We post updates in there as well. Big shout out to Trent, and our strategy club does amazing jobs providing alpha. A big shout out to Brennan as well. Been posting some good stuff too in the old strategy club. So that is what's happening there. Let's have a look at the projects. So these are all listed. These are all projects live in TitanX. Amazing, eh? Look at them all. And of course, Flux is the latest one to launch and doing very well. In fact, Flux has been doing very well. We're going to talk about that in a moment. And what we've got coming up next is Vault, right? Vault's coming up in 1 day, 13 hours and 80 minutes. And I really like the tokenomics on here. This is actually one of my favorites. The ones that I don't like Awesome X tokenomics, but I do like Vault tokenomics. So that's looking pretty good coming up. So that is, we're going to get into that, but let's just quickly go through some of the major things that are happening on here. And I want to go to the Hydra. So Hydra is a really cool thing that's happened. What did we see happen earlier today? Well, we saw the buy and burn ramp up, right? So we saw the buy and burn ramp up. And I'm just going to scroll down here. See down here, the buy and burn is, so buy and burn meaning that TitanX is buying Hydra. It's the second step of the buy and burn. And we see that we've got 88 million buying 115 million Hydra, right? So that's pretty important. We have a certain amount of miners coming out at the moment. So they've been around about 12 billion a day the last 4 days. We know that that's going to step up to probably 12 or something. I would say we're going to have a little drop off, and then we're going to have a little bit of a step up on day, I think it's day 9, something like that. And that's going to go to about 21 billion. So it's pretty interesting. We're already moving pretty early though. And so we've gone from 88 million and buying this amount. So about $1,250, let's say. And now we've just seen earlier in the day, which is probably about 9 hours ago now. Let's have a look here. Yeah, about 9 hours ago, we've seen it jump up. So the buy and burns moved up from 88 million to 187 million per half an hour. So pretty interesting. Now we're burning 256 million Hydra, which is fantastic on the ratio at $2,500 there. So looking really good. You can actually see on the chart that the US dollar price is moving up, but more importantly is the TitanX ratio, right? And the TitanX ratio has been climbing with that new big buy and burn. Look at that. Interesting, eh? Is that interesting? And of course, if you go to the actual DApp on Hydra, which is the latest project from Jake Sharp, right, the founder of TitanX, you can go to the website and you can see the buy and burns in operation, right? So currently the buy TitanX, so there's a whole ton of TitanX in there, right? 9.5 trillion TitanX captured in there. There's a big giant money vault of TitanX. That is actually buying $3,500 worth of TitanX at the moment, which is 5.3 million. Pretty awesome. And you can see at the bottom here, it's callable every 33 minutes. So that's kind of the idea. So that's what people are keeping a lookout for, right? Total Dragon bought so far, TitanX bought so far is 61 billion. Total Dragon burn so far since it's launched is 12.3 billion TitanX has been burned so far. That's fantastic, right? Just burning away. Pretty cool. The amount of TitanX used so far, 1.1 trillion, just over 1 trillion. We're on day 9 of Hydra, so pretty good there. Now, the Hydra buy and burn, which I just pointed out in the chart, you can see it in real action. That is now burning, as I said, 188 million TitanX is being used to buy Hydra and burn it, right? That's $2,500. So really cool. It's every 30 minutes. So what's the total amount Hydra burned so far? 29.5 billion. And it's used 30.8 billion TitanX, but that's just been increased big time, right? From 88 to 188 billion. Now, it has moved around a little bit, was up 128 billion the other day, but that's doing very well. And you can see the chart. Now, this is just the hourly on the chart, right? You see the hourly, but let's zoom out to have a real look at this. So a look at that. That is the hourly. Actually, let's go to the hourly. I want to show the hourly, and I'm going to zoom down because it's kind of a better idea what's going on here. So look how high it was at the beginning. Look how it's just curved down and is flattened out at the moment, right? Flattened out. So pretty interesting here at the moment. We are on day 9. So let me just pick something up here on Hydra. Now, Hydra mining, it looks very, very good from my point of view. Got a very long, flat supply coming out, and then a bulk supply towards, day 75 plus on the contract day. Now, I'm saying contract day, right? Not the number of days from now. So obviously, it's been going for 9 contract days already. So that's pretty cool. Let me just pick something up here. Let me scroll up here, bam, bam. And yeah, so we got pretty low. Now we're expecting on contract day 9, which we're on at the moment. And let's see here. Yeah, contract day, we're expecting about 21 billion today. So remember that, about 21 billion. It's a bit of a jump. Sorry, not 21 billion. We're expecting about 14 billion. We've been having about 11 to 12 billion the last 4 days, from day 5 to day 5 to 8. We're expecting about maybe 14 billion today. And it's going to drop off, right? Drop off to about 5 billion tomorrow. So pretty interesting move with the buy and burn increase. And then, of course, a day 10, day 11, I should say, we're jumping up to 21 billion. So it gives you an idea there. Then we're really dropping off below 10 billion for quite a bit of time before we start rising up a week later, right? So it's going to be interesting. The yields are looking pretty attractive. Yeah, looking pretty good. So let's see. I think we're expecting some good things here from Hydra. And we can already see this curve is actually flattened out a lot earlier, right? A lot earlier. And remember that Hydra is cost driven, right? There's not a lot of referrals or early bonuses, that sort of thing. And yeah, I'm really liking what I'm seeing here. Really liking what's happening with the buy and burn changes from the whoever's running that, right? Whoever's running that. So yeah, tons of TitanX in there too. 9.5 trillion. We went, of course, yesterday we went over 15 trillion total. TitanX has gone into Hydra. Absolutely amazing, right? Absolutely amazing results so far, and continues to do very well. So that's kind of cool. Looking at the stats, we've got 36.2 billion Hydra in existence. That's $392,000, but we've already burned 29.5 billion. That's a pretty high burn rate, right? Pretty high burn rate, 380,000. So we're doing pretty well on that, I think. I think we can all agree on that one. In terms of DragonX, we've got 5.4 trillion liquid, and it looks like we've had 12.3 billion of burn so far. So really making a big contribution to that. And we know that we've got probably half a dozen projects that are going to come out, burn the old liquid off the DragonX, right? So that's going to become more scarce as we move forward in time. Particularly, of course, TitanX farms coming up. Titan farms coming up, which is going to be absolutely hyper good for the old Hydra, DragonX, and so forth. So and TitanX, so it's going to be pretty awesome. So that's looking pretty good. Let's quickly go to out of here and have a quick look at what are we looking at now? We're going to look at what was the other one I was looking at? I got it on the title video. Hydra and Flux. Let's go have a look at Flux. Flux is the other one that's recently launched. This is the price of Flux. Now, Flux has had a lot of, it's got a 7-day window before you get the 8-day stake payouts, right? So it's kind of Flux for you. But it has been performing very well indeed. I've been impressed with that. Now, obviously, it's a difficult one. Flux is kind of like a classic ROI protocol, if you ask me. And so, yeah, some people are going to play the daily mining game and just continue to restake to get as much rewards as they can. So it's going to be a bit of ebbs and flow, a bit more trickier. But of course, this benefits Inferno, right? Inferno is the store of value. This is not in the core 4, and Inferno is kind of the store of value there, and it's running out of tokens in the Inferno at the moment. So Flux is very, very important for that. So let's go to the DApp for Flux. Let me just get out of some of these and go to Flux. Where's Flux gone here? Somewhere, yeah, down the bottom. Let's go to Flux and have a quick check it out. And we're going to enter. I love the artwork. It really is #1 meme for me in the old TitanX ecosystem. Doing a great job. The team's doing a good job here. Now, the results have been very, very good. So we've been getting, I think we finished we're on day 5 now, 16 hours to go. So it's only about 8 hours gone through. It has done incredible results. I think the first 3 days did well over 500 billion TitanX a day. That's $500 billion a day. That's fantastic results. And then yesterday, day 4, it closed at 480 billion, which is really, really good too. So it's still in that vicinity. I was kind of happy if it did 200-300 billion, although that probably would have meant the performance is sort of on the low side. But I think with that, it's kind of a decent performance with that 500 billion. So how long is it going to keep it up for? I don't know. People decide, right? But so far, so good. And so far in today, we've got 160 billion in 8 hours. So I think it's still on track for another $500 billion, given where it's at the moment. In fact, it's slightly up from where I remember it being yesterday. I think it was about 100 and something, 40 something. So that's doing pretty well in the amount of stuff that's going into the protocol on Flux. The yields, of course, in the actual auction itself, 428% at the moment. We'll see what that's like at the end of the day. I can't remember what it was. I don't know what it was on day 4, but day 3 I know it was about 120%. So that was a pretty good day there. Now, people obviously, the rewards at the moment are trying to capture this 8-day reward. Now, it's definitely gone down a lot, right? As more tokens come out, more people stake, and the 8 payout goes down relative to what you put in. But there's still a pretty good amount in there. It's $234,000, almost 355 billion TitanX sitting in there. That's going to pay out in 2 days and 16 hours. So, like I said, as we get into the end of day 7, we're on day 5 now. It's going to be really, we could see quite a bit of rally there trying to get part of the stake payout. We'll see if it's juicy enough to do that, but it's definitely come back quite a bit. If you go to the staking calculator and you put in, 100 million, you got $374 in there. You can see that the staker payout for that will be about $118 at the moment. That's going to continue to go down, right? Because there's a couple more days, 2.5 days more to go for that. So, but still a nice little juicy payout. And once you're staked, of course, you're going to benefit from the next 8-day payout, etc. But that will depend on the success of the platform overall. Looking at the burn. The burn at the moment, this has been really good. Like, burn's been really good. So let's have a look at this. So we've got burn balance at the moment, 354 billion TitanX. So looking really good there. Burn today so far, 114 billion or $75,000. Left to burn today, so a lot to burn today. And of course, it's 236 billion TitanX, $155,000, looking pretty good. The burn at the moment is about 2 billion TitanX, just over $12.50. But this is not every half an hour. This is every 8 hours. And if it doesn't get triggered, it goes compounds again. I think 3 times. And if it fails to be called 3 times in a row, then I think it gets defaulted to the next day. I think that's how it works on this one. To distribute tomorrow. So already for tomorrow's burn, we've got almost 119 billion TitanX, and that will probably be really big if we hit $500 billion TitanX into the mining today as well. So that's looking very good. I think everything's looking pretty strong there. In terms of the stats, we can see at the moment, what do we got here? We got overall Flux burnt so far is 143 million Flux. So it's been burned so far. Total deposited in TitanX. Isn't this crazy? So I talked about that $500 billion a day, but they've had 2.3 trillion TitanX put in this so far. That's really successful. Remember that they, on the last cycle, cycle 8 for Inferno, they had 1.175 trillion on the last cycle and 1.1 trillion on cycle 7. Remember, the 8 cycles to get the Inferno inflation out. Well, this is pretty good in that context, right? Really good. So 2.3 trillion, and we're on day 5. Only 4 hours into day 5. So these guys are really attracting a lot of TitanX into the protocol. Got to give hats off to Bad Sports and others. Ali and that doing pretty good. So Flux 143 billion burn so far. Inferno, which benefits from Flux, right? We talked about Inferno. It's the buy and burns going down a lot. In fact, let's open that up quickly just to see what I mean there. It's always good to see it visually, right? Is that the Flux there? The Inferno burn supply has come down a lot. There is currently 270 billion, and of course we know it's either Thursday is 10% burn, and Thursday is 10% burn, Friday and Saturday is a 15% burn, if they're still keeping that mechanism up. And of course, we've only got 270 billion left, so it's actually going down a lot faster than I expected. So we're talking about potentially 4 to 6 weeks. That was from the developer, but man, it's down a lot, right? So burning through. So Flux and other projects, they're going to have about half a dozen to eight projects apparently launching on Flux. Now, obviously, the speed of that's going to be important. The success of those is going to be important. Flux is performing well. And of course, that's going to complement this burn in Inferno once this goes down. So it's got 2 things operating at the moment, right? This Inferno burn and the Flux burn there as well. So it's going to be a bit of a cat and mouse a little bit, is it? Anyway, down to the mints. We're currently at 45% of Inferno being burned. So there's still a lot to burn. And we're going to see how that goes. So far, that's kind of where we are on that. So this burn playing a role. Remember, it does buy Inferno, but of course, it's only burning 20% or so of it. So at the moment, the Inferno, they're 46 billion Inferno burned so far. They're taken away there in addition to the Inferno itself burning with the burning mechanism on here. So a little slow, but the more protocols, the faster that will happen. And of course, this is early days, only day 5. But so far, the results are pretty good from that point of view. Just got to be patient, I guess, with that. That's kind of it at the moment. Obviously, TitanX and Helios both benefit from Flux. So 56 billion TitanX has been sent to the TitanX, and of course that is to the Vault. I think it's going to the buy and burn, or Vault. Yeah, not the Vault, the buy and burn. I think we've got Helios there. Has also got 28.4 billion there as well. This is huge for Helios. That's why some people are saying Helios looks really good, because obviously they only had about $1,500 in the treasury. Now they've got 18,700, and it's going to continue to go up. So Helios is going to be benefiting from that big time, right? In fact, let's go to have a quick look at the Helios DAP. People saying this is kind of undervalued, so it's up to you to decide that. But the treasury there, they've got Element 280 coming, right? So it's another project's coming. I think it's going to be massive. So that's definitely a good opportunity there, particularly if they do good marketing and they launch it over the 369 payout to get the most ETH they can. I think that would be smart for the Element 280 team. So at the moment, yeah, look at the treasury. This was liquid TitanX there. So let me actually, yeah, TitanX, stake TitanX. So it looks like we've got $13,700. It doesn't quite land up, but there we've got 20.7 billion TitanX. This was only like $1,500. So Flux is benefiting the Helios treasury big time there. So good times all around on that. What else are we going to say about that? I think that's at the moment. What's on the stats on this here for? So have a quick look at those. Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, there's a pretty small supply on liquid. I know there is some minor stakes coming out, but still relatively, it's looking pretty good over in Helios. Definitely one worth thinking about. All right, so that is that's Inferno and Flux. So doing pretty good. Is Inferno and Flux. Those are the two big new projects, of course. So we've talked about those. And of course, let's go back out and quickly talk about TitanX quickly as well. So TitanX is the medium of exchange. And as you guys know, this is going to be huge moving forward, right? So TitanX here, this is the roadmap for TitanX with the projects launching. And of course, there is Vault coming up on the 28th. So this countdown for Vault is huge. And of course, we can see that on the upcoming projects here. It's the number 1, 1 day and 13 hours to go. And of course, we've got the white paper there. I really do like this project. I think the tokenomics are really good. And of course, we're looking forward to that. So that is coming up next. That's next. And of course, it's going to benefit TitanX, right? So you saw that Flux is benefiting TitanX, sending stuff to TitanX for the buy and burn there. And of course, we're going to get Vault also doing it. And the Vault tokenomics are pretty awesome. So let's go to token distribution just to kick it off. And we can see that TitanX burn 4% sent to TitanX Vault. So it's going to be huge there for the TitanX. So it does look like it's going to the Vault, staking Vault there. And it's got TitanX burn, but staking Vault there, which is for staking. So looking pretty good. Yeah, so that's coming up in 1 day and 13 hours. Now, I want to talk about the Vault because it's got pretty cool tokenomics. I like this because I like fixed supply. It's going to have 1 billion tokens, and it's going to have 50 million tokens going to be for the our liquidity wallet to build on TitanX, and starting liquidity will be 5 million tokens paired with TitanX. So I really like that idea. Now, this is the kingpin, right? 1 billion tokens. There's going to be 10-day auctions. All the stuff's going to be out in 10 days. I like that. 100 million tokens a day. Pretty exciting. Now, the cool thing about that, it's also going to be matched with the burn, right? So you're going to have the issuance, but then you're going to have this burn, right? So the burn's going to be pretty cool. And it's going to start off no burn on day 1. About 42% of the balance is going to be used on day 2. And it's going to be 39% of the balance is there. So remember, the balance is going down every day. And then down to 80% on day 10. So I really like that idea. It's going to be a lot of fun to see that. So I really think it's getting some of the best tokenomics out in there on this one. So I'm actually quite a bit of fun. Now, obviously, it's, we're just playing probability here, but I do really think this looks pretty good. So that's pretty cool. And then, of course, day 2, they're going to have this perpetual auction after that, right? Day 11 onwards, so it's going to be perpetual. And how's it doing that? Well, with the burn, right, it's going to be feeding from that buy and burn. 42% of the tokens will be purchased and the LP pool are burned. So we'll be permanently burning that. But some of the stuff that it purchases on these days will be 50% tokens will go to the LP, are placed in the Vault for future auctions from day 11. So that's how it's doing it. Hopefully that's clear. And that's the trick there. And of course, 8% will be used for liquidity bonding to all TitanX protocol tokens as well. Buy and grow, as I said. So here we go. We've got buy and burn, 42%. Buy and feed, that's going to the auctions, 50% of the buy and burn. And of course, 80% of the TitanX value is going to the buy and burn and feed mechanism, right? And then, of course, the buy and grow 8% will be used for liquidity bonding to all TitanX tokens. So that's going to be really, really powerful as well. So really liking this. I think it's a really, really cool project, and it combines some of the best elements I think we've seen so far. Now, it's also got the Treasury Vault that's going to play out as well. So after the initial 10-day period, the Treasury Vault is an exclusive source of auction tokens. And, of course, the starting supply starts with 0. Daily auction, 20% of the tokens in the Treasury Vault. Remember, it's from the buy and burn. Remember, 50% of the buy and burn there. It's available for auction each day. It'll be pretty cool. So it's going to be fun. And, of course, 50% tokens acquired from the liquidity pool. The buy and burn feed is sent to the Treasury Vault. So that's how it's getting fed. And that's going to be re-auctioned. And then, of course, you're going to have this buy and burn impact and permanent supply decrease as well. The other thing is you're going to have this arbitrage between these perpetual auctions and the market price, right? So I think that's going to be pretty cool for that. And then phase 2 coming up is going to be the Vault Wheel. So that's another story for another day, but looks like it's going to be tied through to other protocols in the ecosystem, DragonX, Inferno, Element 280, LegendX, and AwesomeX there as well. Now, I'm a big fan of all these except for AwesomeX, just because I don't like tokenomics. And we might as well quickly talk about that again. I did talk about it yesterday. But some things I don't like in this, and I like to be straight up with my opinions. It's my opinions. You may disagree. Is the TitanX allocation? I like this 70% TitanX buy and burn. Awesome. I like that. 12% goes straight to DragonX Vault. That's okay. It's a little high, but it's okay. It's obviously going to benefit DragonX there. I would probably have that at 4%, just like some of the others. 3.5% buy and burn DragonX directly. So this is really a big DragonX pumper. And of course, 3.5% will fund the AwesomeX Launchpad. I think this is a waste of money in there. TitanX itself is a medium exchange. People can just launch the projects. There is a Genesis fund there of 8%, so don't see why this is going to be useful at all. 3% Treasury. Main 2 goals is Treasury to benefit overall AwesomeX ecosystem. There are many potential ways to benefit the ecosystem from decisions. So I don't really like this as well. I kind of feel like this is a waste of 2. And then 8% of the team, which is standard in the meritocracy of TitanX. So can't say too much about that. But yeah, I just think that the 7.5% in particular, maybe even 8% of that could go back into the buy and burn, or use some sort of vortex mechanism, something like that, to pump this chart. So that's kind of my view on that one. You can disagree or agree or whatever, but that's kind of my expression there. Now, Vault, of course, very excited about that coming up. Love the tokenomics. It's going to be fun to see that project play out. And could be very fast in value creation. It's going to be fun, especially in the future there. Let me just jump over that. So that is kind of the TitanX there. We've covered kind of all of it. Vault's up next. Now, question mark there. We got TitanX farms coming, Titan farms, coming in October. Element 280 and Ouroboros, the 3 big DeFi protocols. All of these are going to be great. Really excited about those. Pretty awesome. Obviously, in the middle of October, probably got AwesomeX there on DragonX, Felix on TitanX. Viper as well, potentially, I think, which is going to be on, I think it's on Hyper. So we'll see. And of course, then we've got Scale on Babby DragonX coming out there. Lotus is going to be on Vault. So remember, we've got Vault launching now, which I'm really bullish on about. And then we've got Lotus coming later on, which we're going to find out the white paper on the 30th. So that's coming up. We're only 3 days away, and we're getting the Lotus white paper. Stay tuned for that. It's going to be really good. So Vault and Lotus together. Yeah, I didn't even talk about that. So fixed supply out in 10 days. And then Lotus could be really bullish there. I did put a Q&A in Strategy Club. So if you're in our Strategy Club, definitely check that out. And of course, the big day, 369, is going to be played out there as well. So that's coming up there as well. Now, will it be a sell the news event? Possibly. Or will it just be a FOMO event? We shall see. But during this time, of course, we're expecting hyper deflation starting to ramp up in the good old TitanX, right? So let's quickly go and have a look at TitanX and quickly check out the total supply and the stats there. So we're sitting at 62.6 trillion at the moment. 32% of TitanX is liquid. Pretty cool. We've got 26.6 trillion inside the BOT protocols, right? These are the second, third, fourth layer protocols. Looking there as well. So far, we've burned 66.7 trillion buy and burned, and we've got 4.6 trillion in penalties with 25 trillion there staked. So that's pretty important there. Now, a lot of that stuff staked is gone forever, in terms of its max staked. So that's a pretty big deal. Now, moving to the buy and burn at the moment on TitanX, we've got $1.4 million, just under 520 ETH in the V2. The current mining at the moment is a negative 53%. So we probably won't get mining for that until we get to hyperdeflationary, and even then, it's going to be competing with ROIs on the other protocols, Hyper and Hydra, for example. And then, of course, the rate is going down. So by the time it does get profitable, maybe it's in a month's time or whatever, the rate's going to be going down by 25,000 a day. So we're just under 2.5 million at the moment. Remember, it started off at 8 million back on the 28th of October last year. So it's going to be interesting to see that play out. If we're going to get any new inflation coming, it's got to come through here, right? So we've got the balance, as I say, at 62.6 trillion. And we know that we've got two big protocols burning at the moment. We've got Flux taking 500,000. And when I say burning, either going into LPs and stuff like that. We've got Flux and we've got Hydra really kicking some ass out there, doing a great job. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, we had 15 trillion so far go into Hydra, and I think it's really underplayed. I think we're going to get a ramp up. And then we saw that change in the buying boom. I think we're going to ramp up in Hydra. It looks pretty good. And as I say, we got a lot of stuff has been pushed right out to the max period, 75 days plus. So December is kind of when a lot of it's coming out. Now let's go to what's coming out in the future at the moment. Let's have a look at that, and let's scroll down. All right. So should we go to 30? Let's just do the 14-day. So 14-day. We've got this day here, which is just finished, right? So just finished this day. It had a massive day. This is our last big candle. So we're going down smaller and smaller from now on. So 1.67 trillion is what we had. It's come out. And now we've got, we're on to this day 336. We've got 1.63. Tomorrow we've got 1.11. And then 2 days from now, we got 1.4. That's the last of our September trillion candles. And then after that, of course, we have dropped down on the 30th to 0.5 trillion. So really, we're doing pretty fantastic. We've got Hydra, and we're going to have Flux operating. We're going to have Vault launching in a couple of days. Remember, Vault is launching here, right on the second to last day in September. It's kind of pretty exciting. Now, looking further afield in terms of future inflation, let's go to the 90-day profile, and you can see that once we get rid of these candles, we're currently in the orange run, right? Once we get through these candles, we only have 2 trillion candles left in October. The 2nd and the 5th of October, and then once we're down that, we've got no more trillion candles. I repeat, no more trillion candles left. Pretty interesting position to be in. What does the all market participants? This is the question. I'm not going to tell you what I think is some of the issues here, but what do you think the market's going to do there? Do you think the market's going to come in and front run TitanX? What does that mean for DragonX? So yeah, some questions around there, and of course you can hear about that in Strategy Club if you want to get into join up to that today. And then of course after that 2 trillion candles. After that, we're down, and then basically these our highest one after that's going to be 815 billion. So we're really dropping off, and by the time we get into the 18th of October, we are down to our last 0.5 trillion candle, 500 billion, and then below that, we're just going down, right? Very few candles left, even close to 0.5 trillion coming out there, maybe three of them, and then by the time we get down to here to the 8th of November, we've got virtually nothing left. I mean, really hardly nothing left. So. And of course, you guys know on the 30th of October, which is getting closer and closer, we have got the big 369 payout, which is going to go. What it's going to do? It's going to go to DragonX. Going to get about 45 to maybe 55% of it, and of course, it's going to then go and use 44.5% of that to go and burn DragonX, and 44.5% to go and buy TitanX off the market. So it's going to buy a lot of stuff off the market with that ETH, that juicy ETH. That's going to be getting what $2.8 million or something, whatever it's going to be by the time it happens. So it's really bullish for the hyper deflation for the old TitanX. So that's kind of the play there. How many days we've got to go to the 369 payout? Let's just minimize this so we can see we've got 34 days to go to this payout. In fact, it might actually be 33 days because it's 6 hours behind. So 33 days to go until the 30th of October. And so we're counting down almost down to a month. TitanX is about to go into stage 3, as Jake Sharp would say. And I think that's hyper bullish. So that is kind of the overview of the markets at the moment. Looking pretty exciting. And of course, TitanX is about to go hyper bullish. We've got all these projects launching, hyper bullish. The big 3 DeFis as well coming in big time at the perfect time. And of course, we've got inflation tapering off. We're about to move into hyper deflation there. And of course, Hydra and Flux are doing very well indeed. Taking in hundreds of billions of TitanX a day. So pretty exciting there. And Vault's about to launch. Now let's jump over to Jake Sharp just to wrap things up. Before we do though, let's see if we've got any more comments in the chat. Crypto Incognito house is in the house. Says congrats Hexkins, Hex 1 cent. Yeah, LFG. And it looks like it's got a bit more room to move too. So looking very good there. Now, this is some of the comments that Jake Sharp's been talking about in the last 24 hours. Hyperdeflation will hit people like a ton of bricks. I've kind of shown you a lot of evidence for that. It is going to be absolutely and crazy good. So let's just scroll back up here. Have a look at some other comments there. So what else there? Let's jump through some of this. Yeah, so he's been posting this today. So it's pretty, you really should follow his views on this because he's really signaling things that are coming up. You're not ready for hyperdeflation, says Jake Sharp. This is 18 hours ago. So interesting that he's posting this today, right? Let's see here. The amount of launches and epic builds between now and end of October is wild. And I've showed you that on the roadmap there that we had earlier. Well, let's have a look here. Posting stuff about Hydra, of course, which we've covered in, on the show as well. Hyper-deflationary, we talked about that too, so that's kind of cool. Titan Farms is very close, one of the big DeFis. Now, this is going to have incredible tokenomics for Hydra and for DragonX and TitanX, and for Hyper as well, especially the Core 4 and all the other projects. Not only TitanX projects, but non-TitanX projects will be invited at some stage into the pools as well. So we can have very big liquidity running through the TitanX farms. And the Tink token is going to be very, very flexible, and as well as the buy and burn separately. So all these different, what we call it, dials, as you were, will be able to ramp up particular projects like Hydra at different times. So very, very clever. And of course, Tink token is going to be hyper deflationary. So some very, very innovative, cool features happening in Titan Farms, and could bring in just tens and tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars and beyond. So very excited to be where that's going. And of course, that's from founder, Eric, their DragonX founder. So pretty cool. Now, if you remember, he's also bringing that crash game to Pulsechain, right, through that as well. So looking pretty good. Let's keep going up here just on some of the comments. Yeah, you can't say you weren't warned ahead of time. So interesting post today about hyperdeflation and things like that. Let's just go up here. Now, marketing is a community effort, and of course, one of the big things that the TitanX community has focused on in particular is that they really need to get the tokenomics are fantastic, the projects are fantastic. They really need to spread the word in marketing and get more people involved. And I think those are showing up in the metrics. That's something that the community needs to continue to do. Now, here we go again. This is, don't forget the TitanX will hit hyperdeflationary status soon. So that's 3 warnings in one day. You talked about that. So there we go. You can take from what you will, but you should be following that there as well. 18 hours ago, you're not ready for hyperdeflationary. Reposted that. That's 4 times in one day about how that's going. That's hyper this time. So yeah, you're not ready for hyperdeflation. So that's for TitanX. Huge, right? So that's 4 warnings in a day. So take warnings there about, you don't want to get caught off guard with the old TitanX. That's all you can say there. Right, let's scroll back up here. We've got a couple more insights here. So yeah, Mike Dean's obviously been doing a great job with the evolution of the TitanX hub, which we've been using, and of course the premium service as well. Well with getting if you're going to do mining later and things like that. 10 hours ago, TitanX is a pressure cooker right now, out with the weak and in with the strong. Obviously, there's a bit of consolidation, a bit of selling, and a bit of rebound there. Take the green pill. I thought it was pretty funny. Let's just scroll back up here and have a look at more of these. The amount of epic launches between now, we've read that. Now, this is pretty cool. TitanX Phase 3 is almost upon us. So he's given us 4 big things about hyperdeflation in TitanX, and now he's talking about Phase 3, right? Hyperdeflationary. So he's just kept on saying that again. So I really like that 5 times in the day. You got to take the warnings where you may. Don't get left behind because we're really, look at that. Another one there 9 hours ago, reposted. Yeah, pretty awesome. Call the hyper burns, he says. Call the hyper burns. Pretty cool. Let's scroll back up here. We had a cool thing on Titan Farms. If you're wondering what I just gave you a big summary of that. But Titan Farms is a huge DeFi launching very, very soon. And of course, if the audits went through smoothly, we're probably looking at early October. So looking forward to that. That's going to be absolutely epic. And of course, all those new levers. We've got all the flywheels, right? Well, we're going to have all those twinks, leverages in the those dials to ratchet things up in the Titan Farms, and it's also going to fatten up the liquidity in the Titan ecosystem hugely. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see that and bring in new communities. So it's a win-win across the farm there. If you want to learn more about Titan Farms, you can definitely check that out. Now that's I think that's on Cryptographics channel. There's an interview with Eric, the founder of Titan Farms, and of course TitanX, the big store of value. What else there? Let's scroll back up here. Let's scroll back up. Kind of cool. Move forward from there. Let's scroll back up here. I think that was kind of it. This was 3 hours ago. It says user adoption doesn't seem to be showing signs of slowing down. Obviously, growth is a big thing here. If you're going to take over Ethereum with the best protocols, best tokenomics, you need to get people to hear about it. So that's pretty important, right? Market Hexkin, an influence out there, says the rest of the year is going to be insane for TitanX. It will go hyperinflationary at the end of November. By then, over 6 protocols will have been released just in time for the hyperinflationary shift. This right here is the most important chart inside of TitanX. I made it as simple as possible to understand. And of course, he's got here the supply one, which I just showed you guys with the end of the trillion candles in red, kind of going down there, and orange there between 500 and 800. And of course, the blue ones there between 100 and 480 billion. So really cool by the time you get into November there. Where's the inflation? Where did the supply go? No mints, no inflation, no sell pressure, hyperdeflationary. That is it. So you can look at it different ways. Hyperinflation can be considered different ways. Obviously, there's no inflation there, but you can have hyperinflationary well earlier than that in October, November. So keep a lookout for that. It's going to be pretty fun. So that is the play there on that one. Let's just quickly go through some of these. Let's see. We'd almost finished here, I think, on the update from Jake. Take the green pull again. I like that. Let's have a look here. No, we're almost done. So that is from Jake Sharp. Pretty exciting, and we know that Eric is coming out pretty soon with a Titan Farms, which is going to be mega huge for the whole TitanX ecosystem. People selling DragonX these prices, yeah, kind of crazy. He says there as well. Now, someone posted out a pretty cool chart about the maximum. If you had no buy and burn on DragonX. The versus TitanX, and the ratio was theoretically about 22.5. I thought it was pretty interesting. We got 20.6 yesterday, but yeah, it could be up and away from there. Now let's quickly see. We got some final comments in the chat. We're up to an hour and 16, pretty much around my max live stream time. Hex Down Under says, "Morning, bro. Good luck for 2025. You put in the work. I appreciate that, Hex Down Under. Big shout out to you, and so have you, man. You've been around. We got Priority 1 in there for TitanX. Good timing. Good morning, and we got some alpha from Priority 1 today." BTC moving to break some structure looks good for an upward move, says Titan Priority 1. Legend X has DragonX NFTs about to list, and Rudy is cooking something big. Okay, that's very cool. So definitely go check out Legend X there, DragonX NFTs, OTC, as we say. Rudy, damn though, for real, what I'm doing is going to make it really hard to reproduce the TitanX Legend NFTs, says Priority 1 there. Imagine if we could collateralize these NFTs one further step. That would be amazing with Ouroboros. That'd be fantastic. The next thing I'm working on will kind of take this liquid NFT concept to a different level and show of other ways to do it. It also plays a storyline really well. Don't fade the build on TitanX projects is Priority 1. Vault Farms, Ouroboros, exciting. Yeah, absolutely. So we've covered that today too. All right, fantastic. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Once again, see you in Strategy Club. Links in the video description. In fact, I think Wookie's got his one posted there again. So a big shout out to Wookie there in a galaxy far away. I'll catch you guys again tomorrow for another update on the crypto market, stock market. It will be Friday stock market, of course, and of course Pulsechain. We'll see where Hex is by tomorrow. We've got a big consolidation or not. And of course, finally, TitanX will be covering as well. All mad gains. And now, X1 chain is probably coming up soon. Maybe we'll get an October launch. And of course, we cover a lot of stuff like that inside the Strategy Club as well. So definitely worth checking that out. Hope you guys enjoyed the show today. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, and I'll catch you guys again tomorrow. Vault is launching in about a day and a half. So it's fun times ahead all around. All right, take care and bye for now. Let's see you tomorrow. Yeah, boy.